Phil Dunphy might be the most loved sitcom dad ever, and that is exactly the problem. Because that big goofy charm hides stuff that would get any other character roasted. The staring, the dodging, the mess he leaves for Claire to clean up. We laughed it all off for 11 seasons. Today we stop. But first, let's talk about the thing nobody wants to mention. I am going to start with the biggest one, because we all noticed it, and we all pretended we did not. Phil's crush on Gloria. Now remember who Gloria is. She is married to Jay. Jay is Claire's dad. So Gloria is Phil's stepmother-in-law. Basically family. And Phil cannot keep his eyes off her. He gets nervous around her. He stares. He makes little comments. And it happens over and over for seasons. Think about the Hawaii trip. Claire is right there talking about sunblock, and Phil is in his own world watching Gloria dry off in the background, like she is moving in slow motion. Or the time Gloria gives him a haircut, and he gets all flustered with her standing that close. There is even an episode where a drone is flying over Gloria by the pool, and Phil is standing there looking guilty, claiming he was just reading his horoscope. Sure, Phil. And here is what really gets me. The show plays every single one of these for laughs. Gloria never notices. Jay shrugs it off, and Claire is left being the one who has to catch it and steer him away every time. But be honest, if a less lovable husband on a less popular show did this to his wife's stepmom again and again, we would not call it cute. We would call it a problem. The charm is the only reason it slides. But staring is one thing. The next one shaped his whole family. But at least staring is harmless. This one hurt his kids. Here is the next one. Phil cares way more about his kids liking him than he cares about actually parenting them. That is the thing about being the fun dad. The fun dad never says no. The fun dad never hands out the punishment. So who does? Claire. Every time. Phil gets to be the good guy and Claire gets stuck being the bad guy in her own house. The show even calls this out directly. In the episode Good Cop, Bad Dog, Claire is exhausted from always being the mean one. So they switch. Phil tries to be the tough parent for once, and he is terrible at it. He cannot hold the line. He undoes all the rules Claire set, and the whole thing falls apart in minutes. Then they go right back to normal, with Claire carrying all the hard stuff again. And look at how they handle Luke shooting Alex with the BB gun. Instead of a clear, firm consequence, Phil and Claire are basically scheduling Luke's punishment around his soccer games and play dates. Like discipline is just another thing on the calendar. That is Phil's whole style. Talk it out, make a deal, give a nice little speech, but never actually be the bad guy. And here is my honest take. Being the fun parent feels great, but somebody has to set the rules, and Phil quietly handed that whole job to his wife. That is not nothing. But the way he treats Claire goes even deeper than this. But the real victim of all this was always Claire. Let's go further, because this is the one that really bugs me on a rewatch. Phil takes Claire completely for granted. Stop and look at what Claire actually does. She runs the schedules. She handles the discipline. She tracks every kid's grades and feelings and problems. She cleans up after Phil's wild schemes. And what does Phil get to do? Show up with a hug and a fun life lesson and look like the world's best dad. Meanwhile, Claire gets called uptight and controlling for doing all the heavy lifting. There is this episode, Run for Your Wife, where the kids finally go back to school, and Claire just wants one quiet day to herself, to exercise, to read, to breathe. And Phil cannot even understand why she wants that. He keeps interrupting her. He has no clue how much she carries every single day because he has never had to carry it. And he keeps making more work for her. Remember his system for hiding the emergency money with those nonsense rhyming clues? When a real crisis hits and they actually need that cash, Claire is the one stuck running around trying to crack his silly little code. Here is the part that gets me. Fans love Phil and side-eye Claire, when really, Claire is the reason the whole family even functions. If any other character made this many messes and expected his wife to fix every one, we would call him selfish. With Phil, we just call it adorable. But it gets uglier when he wants to win at something. But you have not seen Phil get ugly until he wants to win. Now here is a side of Phil people forget about because it does not match the nice guy image. The man is wildly competitive, and it makes him kind of selfish. That sweet, goofy Phil disappears the second there is something to win. Neighbors. work rivals, even his own kids. He locks in and the friendly stuff goes out the window. In one episode, Slow Down Your Neighbors, Claire is on a mission to stop a speeder in their neighborhood, and it turns out the speeder is one of Phil's clients. So what does Phil do? He protects the client. He picks closing a deal over backing up his own wife's whole campaign. And watch him with Jay. There is that boxing episode, When a Tree Falls, where all of Phil's buried frustration with Jay comes pouring out and he actually wants to fight him. He pushes himself, he pushes his kids, all to win and to look good. He even pretends to be blind once to cut a line while he is out with Alex. Think about that. He is teaching his daughter that cheating is fine as long as you get ahead. And here is my point. We laugh because it gets goofy and over the top. But underneath, that need to win and be seen as the cool guy keeps beating out being kind and being a team player. When other characters act like this, we call it bad sportsmanship, or worse. Phil gets a pass because he is funny. But while he is busy winning, one of his kids was quietly falling apart. But while he played around, one kid was drowning in silence. This is the one that honestly makes me a little sad. Phil completely missed Alex. Look at where Phil spends his energy. He is deep in Haley's boyfriend drama. He is bonding with Luke over schemes and goofy projects. And Alex, the smart one, the quiet one, the one slowly cracking under the pressure, gets nothing. Because she seems fine, because she handles herself. So everyone just assumes she is okay and moves on. Go back to Under Pressure. On Alex's 16th birthday, she is drowning in SAT stress, completely overwhelmed, and the family is pushing cake and party in her face. She finally snaps. And the saddest part is how long it took anyone to even notice she was struggling at all. Phil's attempts to connect with her are usually too little or too late. He plans these big bonding days that miss what she actually needs, or has awkward smart talks that do not land. And get this, in one episode he accidentally gives Alex the wrong medicine that messes up her ability to study, then does a bad job covering it up. The one time he is hands-on with her, he makes it worse. Now, to be fair, later seasons give him a few sweet moments where he does see her, but the pattern is clear. He only shows up for Alex after she breaks, never before. And a quiet kid suffering in silence is the easiest kid in the world to overlook. That blind spot ties straight into his biggest flaw of all. But all of this comes back to one thing he never fixed. So here's what ties the whole thing together. Phil never really grew up. And I want to be clear, his big kid energy is a huge part of why we love him. The magic tricks, the gadgets, the pure joy he brings. That is real and it is wonderful. But that same refusal to grow up has a cost, and Claire pays it. Because a grown-up has to do the boring, hard, uncomfortable stuff. And Phil dodges all of it. When things get serious, Phil cracks a joke and slips away. He avoids the tough talks. He avoids the hard choices. He even ducks real conversations with his own dad by hiding behind humor every time, because going deep might mess with his happy little bubble. And every time he avoids something, guess who has to deal with it? Claire. She is always there to catch the fallout, smooth it over, and keep the family standing while Phil plays the lovable goofball. Here is the honest truth at the heart of all this. The exact things that make Phil so much fun are the same things that make him fall short as a husband and a dad. The crush on Gloria, dodging the parenting, leaning on Claire, the need to win, missing Alex, the refusal to ever grow up. None of it makes Phil a villain. He genuinely loves his family, and he brings real warmth and joy. I am not saying he is a bad guy. I am saying that for 11 seasons, that famous Phil charm did one sneaky thing. It protected him from the exact judgment any other character would have gotten. And once you see it, you really cannot unsee it. And here is what I keep thinking about. Phil is the dad we all wish we had. Fun, warm, always in your corner. That is why this is so hard to talk about. We do not want to poke holes in the perfect TV dad. But a real partner is not just the fun one. A real partner shares the weight, takes the hard jobs, and shows up before things break, not after. Phil gave his family laughter and love, and that matters. He just left the heavy stuff to Claire and let his charm cover for it. Loving him and seeing his flaws can be true at the same time. That is what makes him such a real character.